Ba-ba-ba. Hello, audience of the future. We are travelers from the past, documenting our journey to the heart of fun and entertainment in Pathfinder, Dungeons and Dragons, whatever, RPG session 28, I think. Now,
I think it's 27.
27. Well, I'll scrap this whole thing. End it now.
Can't do it.
Okay, fine. Last time the party plundered a clam and met with Ellen the Generous. They got a pearl of luck, and now they have to wrap up some of the loose threads and new plot hooks that have been dangled all around them. This involves going to the capital or going to the Balnorn. I asked the party, what do they want to do first? The capital or the Balnorn?
I would like to go to the capital.
Yeah, capital's good.
Capital for me as well.
Okay. It is still within the period of mourning. No bright colors are allowed in the capital, nor festivals.
Oh, speaking of, I actually, because I already have the drawing of the character, I changed all the colors for what it would look like in morning, and it looks ridiculously edgy.
Holy...
Wow.
It's like even the eyeshadow.
Yeah, even our tattoos are
So edgy.
color changed.
I like it.
Yeah, I know, right?
So, I hope you do know that when inevitably we do the mirror fight where you have to fight yourselves,
Yeah, that's
that
what
is
it's
how
gonna
you're
look
going
like.
to look regardless of what costume you have. just bleeding and oozing edge.
Rusty, did you spell deity wrong?
Probably.
I think that says deity.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Onan
fine.
has
Those are
to
the
make
colors on
sure
her
that
back.
she eats right to maintain her bulky figure.
Mhm.
She can best print you, maybe.
Not that high in strength.
Ah,
I just realized, Rusty, you totally stole my hair thing.
I definitely drew this before I said any of that,
Nah.
or before I talked
No,
to you.
you stole it. No.
okay, well,
So you just-
regardless of theft,
Anyways.
you change your armor's appearance. You teleport outside of the capital. Are you guys going to disperse first, or are you going to say, hey, voice, we should talk to you about a plan we have? Because you likely need the voice to convince the Black Summoner's court to allow you to use an incredibly powerful and experimental artifact on their leader.
Yeah, we
Guess
should
she
probably
could get
go.
started on that.
Yeah.
But
Nah.
she might be able to tell us, like, oh, such and such went wrong. Like it's our fault for never being here and doing our job.
Well, to be fair, all of you have kind of decided on new jobs. Avengers / artifact hunters / Phoenix cult hunters. And you're doing good work in your new jobs. Unfortunately, your old jobs still think you're doing your old job. So, you get to the capital. You teleport outside because you imagine that the city is in rather high alert, and large amounts of people teleporting in is likely going to set off security forces. You get to the gate, and they just let you in. After a few spells are cast and people verify that you are indeed save people, hunt things. True. You're waved through the outer walls, and as you approach the inner walls, well, the capital is somber, but it seems like people are like in public just trying to show how mournful they are, but you can tell it's like everyone's on edge, and it's grating on them to have to do public displays of mourning to not be harassed by the cops, by the police and security forces for not showing proper decorum. But as you get into the inner part of the city, seems like there are some. Well, on the outskirts, people could get away with a little bit of color. Inside here, where the Imperial Palace kind of has a sight line over the rest of the city, there are no bright colors. It's like someone just took a cloth of gray and just threw it over this city. This part of the city. You head towards the Imperial Palace, where you're quite sure the voice will be. There is no shocking event. There are, of course, events happening in the court, but your goal is to speak with the voice first.
Mhm.
You go up to the voice's chambers and you ask the servant outside to see if she's in, because none of you sent a sending. So
Oh no.
We should send one right now.
We should get some cell
hey,
phones.
hey, girl, ready to meet up?
Actually, I don't know. We just teleported back. No, I didn't prepare a sending because I'm still in my clam hunting kit.
Could we enchant small devices with sending and give one to her and keep one?
Totally.
It's a cell phone.
It's a cell phone.
Just like in RE0.
Yeah.
You totally could. Once a day sending wouldn't be horrifically expensive. But I'm not going to figure out the gold
No, that's
piece
fine.
price
No,
on
no,
that
that's
right
fine.
now. You get to her. She beckon. The servant beckons you in, and you see the voice. Actually, in the middle of her office, there is a stone bathtub, and she is currently fully clothed in it with steaming water coming off of it. She says, "You caught me in a relaxation period, but it's about the only time I have to speak with you. Please let this be relaxing." She takes one look at the
Whoa.
party and the sort of she reads the clues on your faces and just sighs and just says, "Well, get it over with."
We
This
found.
may not be as bad as you think. It's a potential solution. Not relaxing at all, but it's a solution. Instead
I
of
like to hear
problem.
solutions that don't involve the death of the Empire, yes. Please, go on. I've had dark days, and I cannot have any splash of color anywhere near me, lest the Emperor go on another tirade.
Well, a few things. Found the Pearl of Luck. Wait, did we want to tell her that, meta-wise?
Yeah, so
Too late.
otherwise, what do you want to tell the voice?
Probably about the amulet.
Oh, okay.
I mean, the luck doesn't matter. I don't think. I
If
don't
she
think
can
she's gonna betray us.
Think of a reason why, like, we shouldn't. Like, if there's nothing particularly dangerous about it, as far as we know.
Yeah. Unless she tries to take it from us, and then we're like, no, stop it. Swat her hand.
Please, no. Voice, please. She says, "Fine.
And the anvil,
Tonight, you."
the anvil is essentially like recharging the amulet, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So, what are...
I
Say
guess,
what you're going to tell...
I guess I was gonna say a few things. We found the Pearl of Luck, which will help the party, and
She seems suitably impressed by finding the Pearl of Luck. She says, "I'll have to ask you where it was."
under the
Later.
sea, under the sea. It wasn't that. It was really not a big deal. We met some new pirate friends.
She asks, "Oh, which band?"
What the fuck are they called?
You
Ellen
could just
DeGeneres
say,
and the.
The
I'm sure there's some sort of.
There's a TV
Looks like
host.
uh,
I was like,
Actually, I don't think I gave Ellen DeGeneres her. I don't think I told you her cruise
Yeah,
designation, but her ship was the Bountiful Booty.
Yeah, you did,
Yeah,
definitely.
that
Oh
one.
yeah.
Ellen DeGeneres of the Bountiful Booty.
They were
The
a
voice-
lively bunch and rather friendly.
The voice thinks about it and she says, well, of all the various pirate bands, they're wanted for the least amount of violent crimes. So
Yeah, they're good people. I like them.
Points for them.
Mazga says
she kinda
least
nods.
amount.
Oh yes, they still raid people, but we have managed to generally hire them to raid other nations' ships instead.
Oh.
So calling them pirates is they're more
More like-
privateers than
Ah.
pirates.
And then, more importantly, we found a solution to charge the amulet, and that is currently on its way to charging, and is going to help the black. We would like to use it to help the black summoner.
She nods and she says that it will be far easier to get that amulet to the Black Summoner than it would be to get that amulet anywhere near the Emperor. Seeing how the Emperor's mantle, the thing that gives him power and connects him to the oaths he has to kingdom and country, would be destroyed with the use of the amulet. It is being recharged. May I ask who's in charge of that?
Lulara like glances at Mozgus.
Mazga shrugs and says, the anvil.
The voice kind of just says, then I likely could do no better than the anvil in protecting it. As long as she understands our need and does not try to use it for one of her own ends.
I don't know.
She
if
can't
should
touch
not.
it.
Yeah,
She made
won't
it
be
clear
able
that
to.
she didn't want it.
The grin. It seems like you have made the right choice. The best person to give a valuable to is one who does not want it. She sort of smiles and then has a 1,000-yard stare and then shakes it off and looks back at you guys. I assume that you'll need more than just Shakti and her position in the court to convince them to allow you to use this artifact on the Black Summoner.
Yeah.
She nods and she says, do you know about the consequences of using this amulet? I only have vague warnings in the ancient texts I was able to get. And I dare not ask the Seer's court because there are too many spies.
Seems like you just need to use it carefully. And make sure, as you said, that you don't have anything you don't want unbroken, oath-wise.
She nods and she says, some of the text mentioned that it was that the last time it was used, the Monska used it, or at least the last time it was historically notable that it was used was at the end of the Monska Empire.
Is the Black Summoner from the Monks Empire?
No, but the amulet is.
Oh, so Telmac just owned it.
Yes. It turns out the amulet is, from my research, the Talmec had it and used it for things like resurrecting the dead and other powerful uses, but there was she pulls out an ancient scroll and puts it on she floats it out from the wall and sort of has it unravel in the air before you. It is ancient. If common is English, this is like Proto-English.
Mm.
And she goes, "This scroll is actually a fragment of a diary written by Talmec, or at least a book about..." And she uses magic to sort of highlight a section of it. It's quite hard to read. You guys can roll linguistics checks.
Boy.
Do I have that?
Of course, Fane can read it because Fane's bullshit
Nah.
like that.
Oh,
I'll have
Right.
Fane read it for me. I
I
don't have.
put on my spectacles of understanding.
Ah, okay.
What's it called?
So you put on the spectacles of understanding, and you note that the words seem to unscramble before you and rewrite themselves. It is summarized
God
as
damn it,
this.
Ha!
Well, you can read.
It is summarized as this. That the amulet, that Talmec found the amulet during the end of his her adventuring days, when she was adventuring with the person who would eventually become the first emperor of Bay, and that it was a artifact from thousands of years before Talmec, which Talmec lived 2,000 years ago, and that it was some kind of petrified part of a forest.
Oh,
Uh,
that's cool.
and that Talmec started explaining how dangerous it was, but only in vague terms, like Talmec never knew exactly how dangerous. Only later on, and then she brings the voice brings out another scroll, and she says, "It is strange, however, that the only other times it is mentioned is in this scroll, near the end of Talmec's life." Part of the text gets highlighted again. And that a Samsaran came to her and explained that he was the rightful owner of the amulet, and only he knew how to use it relatively safely for anything more than what the Samsaran said as minor tricks.
Huh. What do the Samsarans have to do with the amulet?
That is the connection I do not have. I can only assume that the Samsaran in one of their past lives had this amulet, or it was trying to bank on the fact that people know Samsarans remember something about their past lives to trick Talmec into giving the amulet to it. Talmec refused, although Talmec did lock the amulet away so that it would not be found again, or not be found by the unworthy. Then the amulet has popped up several times in the 2,000 years since Talmec's life, but it has never been... It's always been more of a trinket of curiosity. No one knew how to actually make it powerful. It appears like you know something I don't. The voice smiles.
I think we know who the if that person really was similar to yourself in that they can remember their past lives. I think we know the next person named Sarajin? Is it next
Sarajin.
Samsaran?
The voice seems to think it over and says, "I do not know the Sarajin, but I would be curious to find out about them." But it appears like you are going to use the amulet. I will contact... You see, there's a problem in the Black Court. and that is some people do not want the Black Summoner to recover, because in the Black Summoner's absence, they have gained power, and they seek to be the next Black Summoner. Most of the Black Summoner's court still desire the Black Summoner to come back because he is a source of stability, compassion, and reason. But I fear that there is a civil war brewing, and that the Black Summoner's court there will be some who will try to stop the recovery of the Black Summoner if we make it too public. Should he come back in his powerful form, those factions will either be obliterated or quietly subsumed back, as those factions would never dare stand against the Black Summoner if he was at full power. Or if they did, they would be foolish. But there's no shortage of fools in our world. Now, she thinks a bit about it, and she says, I will start making arrangements for a place that we do not mind destroyed to be fortified, so that the destruction does not go beyond the bounds. I will create a secret ritual site for us to do this.
Outside
Once
of the
the
capital?
once the amulet is ready, we will have to smuggle the Black Summoner out and create this ritual quickly before the rebellious elements see it as their chance to strike.
How are we going to smuggle him without anyone noticing?
Well,
Bag of holding.
No, but like someone. I mean,
that is why we will need to secure who is loyal to the Black Summoner and who is not, so that those who are loyal can cover. I can create a simulacrum of the Black Summoner that would fool some, but not all. And as long as they did not closely inspect and we kept the same amount or more guard on the Black Summoner as usual, they would not. We would buy some time for us to do the ritual. I don't know how long such a ritual is. That is where you'll need to find an expert. Perhaps the Dawn Caller. If anyone knows obscure lore from over 4,000, 2,000, 4,000 years ago, it's probably the Dawn Caller.
we still have that free question.
Do we?
Yeah.
Yep, you do. Meta-wise, you do have a free question. Although you also have a lead of someone who would likely know this Saragen.
Right.
Yes. We can learn what we can over here. In terms of just, I assume, off-screen literature reading.
And gather knowledge checks and all that. See what we can find.
Okay. So the voice says, What are your general plans? I know that you cannot speak too much, as we all worry about being eavesdropped, overheard. I have protected this room as much as I can, but inevitably I am mortal. There is something that might get through. The walls have ears in this palace.
Should run. Like maybe you should start running something that creates sound constantly. That would make it a little harder then. Just run some water, take a shower.
That's why I have this bath. The steam is making some sizzling noises. But maybe it's not enough. Now, what are you going to tell the voice as your next plans? It doesn't have to be what your plans are, but
I kind of want to look into the boat, the metal ship.
the metal ship in the islands of Yangtapur.
Yes.
It's pretty spooky, yeah.
Ghost ship.
It made ghosts of one of the ships that tried to fight it.
Is that the... Sorry, meta-wise. Metal ship versus Pearl of Balance. Is that the same thing? Or are they just near each other?
They're just near each other.
Oh. I don't see the boat on the map. Should it be on the map?
Because the boat, its exact, you guys haven't found its
Oh,
exact
okay.
position.
Gotcha.
You've only just been hearing rumors through the court of people scheming to find out what the boat is for, who's piloting it.
You know what? We should try to pick up the boat. We'll take the boat.
Our boat now.
It's our boat. What are you gonna do?
But you, meta-wise, you also know the general location for one of the Armor of the Dragon Emperor pieces
That's true.
in the forests of Roll20.
Yes.
You know that there's the last vestment of Talmec is in the northwest. You could go to the Baelnorn and see if she knows where the last Armor of the Dragon Emperor is, now that you found two. You could ask her where the other pearls are.
Could ask her if she knows anything about Sarajin.
Yeah. There's a lot of current open threads, and I am paralyzing you guys with choice.
Okay.
So
I vote dragon and armor, but
I vote Dragon.
like meta-wise, I vote dragon. Right?
Yeah.
Dragon armor sounds awesome.
okay, because either it will be the claws or the eyes. So
Also, meta-wise, you gotta get this bird a breath weapon. Just saying. I know there's a full set bonus for the dragon armor. So
that there very much is. Because having two of them allows Form of the Dragon once per day, and but you're pretty sure the more you do it, the more
the better it'll be.
the better it will be. That, and I realized that in my notes, I actually had that the scale of the dragon is actually an enhancement bonus until you get more parts of the Dragon Emperor, and then becomes a racial bonus.
Oh.
So I think I'm going to implement that because A, it will encourage more stuff, and B, still having +6 enhancement bonus to natural armor is more than you can normally get. So it's still a really good bonus. Just means it doesn't stack with bark skin.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
So it's not racial until you go deep enough in the Dragon Emperor.
I need to go spend some time with Cadalatrix to convince him to give me some stuff.
Yeah, you could actually use your few days in the capital to do that. If you guys are going to spend a few days in the capital, rather than just breezing in going, oh shit, we have to go somewhere else, and just fucking off.
I think most of us should stay in the capital, do crafting, and like gather information.
Yeah.
I
I kind
assume
of want to
Onan
talk to
and-
my pawn.
Yeah.
Besides
Okay.
the crafting we're doing in terms of actual like craft time,
Yeah.
Onan and the Lara can probably help build the ritual site.
But we need to find the ritual site first.
Yeah, so the voice is likely going to find a suitable ritual site first. And then there'll be some building involved, aka it's doing a timer for a boss battle, as it were. I'm telegraphing some of this shit, okay? One moment.
Be right back.
So yeah, I'm okay with getting more dragon stuff.
Okay. So, you guys go into the capital. I assume you guys want to speak with some of your pawns. or do some crafting.
Yes.
So, Alexandra, while other people think about what they want to do, let's do the conversation with the pawn.
Okay.
I think for me, I'm just making you guys stuff, right?
Well, that's part of your day, but you can always gather information or do stuff with your pawns or...
My pawns are busy.
I don't want to really
Yeah.
split up the group as far as like going to different places briefly,
Hmm.
because that'll just be complicated.
Did we want to figure out like who's loyal to the Black Summoner at all, or is that something we're not really?
Oh, that
concerned
could be
about?
something we focus on.
Because I do have a pawn that like works there.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean,
It's
you
been
work
there.
there too.
You work there.
I'm supposed to, but man,
Your mom has a job.
What?
What?
Your mom went to Napoleon Dynamite. Only the reference was your mom went to college.
Yeah.
Good reference.
I
gotta
haven't seen
watch
that
that
movie in
movie. I
so
love
long,
that
and
movie.
I'm glad that's a thing.
I love it. What are you talking about?
God,
It's great.
I can't. It's too stupid.
it's I can't stand it either.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
What the fuck is wrong?
It's so...
How can we be friends?
I get it, but it's still not something I would want to spend my time watching.
I don't know why I like it so much.
I'd
I
rather
just
watch
do.
The Room. If you like really stupid shit, you gotta watch The Room.
It's the room.
You haven't seen The Room?
Yeah.
Oh my god, you gotta watch. It's just called The Room, and it's a movie starring, directed by, produced by Tommy Wiseau, and I think there's something else he did in there too. It's like a
Yeah.
3-hour movie, and it is one of
Okay.
the like legitimately one of the worst movies of all time.
But like he's like super. It's like a cult.
It's a cult classic at this
It's
point.
a cult classic, so like people really love it because it's so bad. I guess I
But
don't
not
know.
like Pulp Fiction where there's some really good stuff in there. Like this is just a legitimately bad film.
I like how this is the content for the D&D stream,
Yeah.
while on the other end, they're having the actual conversation.
This is why Snake needs to be the DM.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
Or, you
That's
know,
work.
Ian could stream, but no, that's ridiculous.
Oh, he does have a computer that could stream. He should stream. That's fine by me.
Yeah,
I can
Streamlabs
host his
OBS.
content on my channel. I don't give a
Oh.
shit.
Matt,
Yeah.
you stream? that
I
what-
I used to, but then I got really busy with schoolwork.
Right?
The Shadow of the Colossus thing. I showed it to Snake, and
Oh,
he was
yeah.
like, "Wait, were you streaming?"
That was pretty funny.
No,
That was so
I
freaking
wasn't. I wasn't streaming. No.
Sorry.
Your character model just spazzed out somehow.
Yeah, it was really funny.
No, they're having a whole thing over there.
La, la, la.
But yeah, go watch The Room, and then watch it again with riff tracks.
Oh man.
Also, it's different. The Room is different than Room.
Yes. Yes. That's good to know.
Yeah.
I like how you can get around like IP and copyright by just having a different word.
Well, I mean, there's only so
room.
many words to
The
use.
room.
Yeah.
Room.
Eventually, I think you can use the same word again, but...
And room.
And room, the rooming.
And umre.
Rumors of the room.
Oh my goodness. Hello.
Hey.
Hi.
So, so Alexandra's doing a few gather information, some diplomacy checks and knowledge checks to gather information about what the court knows about the ship. So, who else is doing what?
I wouldn't mind assisting Lauren's character in figuring out about the Black Summoner loyalty parties.
Okay.
Yeah, Moscow's would be good at that. Also the
So,
interrogation.
I would say, Moscas, you do a...
Cat.
So, Shakti need... do you have diplomacy? Like ranks in diplomacy?
Me?
Yeah, you, Lauren.
You can be so many people. Yeah, I have a 10.
I have a 16. Maybe I should lead. Or do we do separate ones?
So I would say that that Shakti does diplomacy because people know her, and Moscus, you do sense motive
Sense motive. Okay.
to see which
Oh,
ones
boy.
are acting.
Oh, that's way
shady.
better.
And I have my pawn that's still working there and everything. So
Yeah.
We just walk up. Sup?
And see what he thought.
Which one of you motherfuckers is guilty?
Okay, Alexandra, I'm seeing a pattern in your rolls. The next one's going to be 7, and then 9, and then 11. Eventually, you're going to get to a 19, and it's going to be great.
It's gonna be the best roll ever.
It's going to be.
Oh! Nothing's getting by me.
Maybe
So I
should
need
just
Shock
let
Teacher.
Snake roll. It's getting ridiculous.
Well, everyone else who's rolled this game has rolled a 20, so I don't know why you're complaining.
That work? Oh, so sad.
Okay, I will say, Shakti, you have kind of been out of the court, and people aren't as willing to talk about the situation to you. Because they know you're currently more of a, like, agent of the voice than someone who's fully in the Black Summoner's court right now.
Yeah. I tried to push that, like, I'm the one that trained you, mofos. Like, come on.
Yeah, and and they're happy for training, but they're keeping their political opinions to themselves. Moscus, however, is very good at ferreting out what's happening about what. And Moscus, so there is a council of 5. There's a council of the 5 top Black Summoners Court members, who were working subordinates of the Black Summoner.
Mm-hmm.
You have discovered 2 of the 5 to be suspicious. That they're the ones you have the hunch that are trying to take over in the absence.
I wonder if we should take
So-
action on that. But we might spark a civil war if we just kidnap them and, torture them.
Yes, this is why the voice hasn't just like thrown all the Black Summoner leaders into a cell and been like, okay, which one of you fucks is trying to do something?
It'd be efficient.
It's starting a civil war.
Okay.
I mean, everyone knows torture's the best way to get information out of people.
Right. Especially if you use water.
Yeah, oh god.
Okay, one is Sugo. He is known as the Crimson Tornado. He is a synthesis summoner.
Oh god.
And that's why he's known as the Crimson Tornado, because he turns into a red ball of claws. The other one is and the other one is Ren Wen, a person who rides the only creature that maybe outmasses yours, who isn't summoned. She is a female orc.
Mammoth Rider.
Mammoth Rider. So both of them are involved heavily in the monstrous cavalry and the domestic regulation, aka the monster suppression parts of the Black Summoner's Court. So these are the disloyal black summoner subordinates. And they aren't really that disloyal, except like they are planning for the black summoner not making it and trying to outmaneuver all the other subordinates so that they are on top. You don't know if they're working together or separately.
Well, all right. That's some good info.
Mm-hmm. Now, for Alexandra, you have uncovered that several of the merchant princes and one naval admiral are each trying to create a separate fleet and several different strategies to confront either peacefully or violently the metal ship. Each one of them is getting in the way of the others.
Of course.
And when you try to use diplomacy to gather much information beyond that, each one of them is trying to keep information from all the others, so no one's speaking. At least not to you.
So if I were to get maybe a friend who's better at talking to people to gather some information for me?
It is possible.
Okay.
Now, what is Onun, Shakti, and Lalara doing in the capital?
Onan isn't great at research, but she's going to put in her best effort for trying to find what's their face? The
Sarajin?
Sarajin, that's the one. And I also want to do the mercenary thing, the interrogation, more
Yes.
gently than maybe Mosgus would. But I can understand if Mosgus would feel inclined to join, or the rest of the group for that matter.
He'd want to at least be there
Yeah.
Sounds like fun.
as a human lie detector.
Oh yeah, so
Yeah, that's a good investment.
why don't we do the interrogation after everyone does?
Yes, all right.
Because that sounds like a group activity, as it were.
Be right
I
back.
don't know how many of you are needed to waterboard someone, but we can find out.
Hopefully none of us.
I think the Lara would be working on crafting.
That's totally fine. Yeah. You finally, like, wiping the grime of adventuring off of yourself, you finally settle down into your workshop.
The other thing that she'd want to do, like in between, I guess, crafting, is she'd want to talk to the mother of the last emperor's child.
Ah, yes. You would be one of the few people who could actually get through the security to talk with her. So, happenings in the capital. Trying to see. Yep. It is the concubine Kaida. So it should be concubine, not co-cubine. But I am okay at living with my mistakes. So if you want to speak with her, what would you want to ask her, and then we can role play the situation, or I can give you some point forms of how it is. So it is up to you.
I think the Lara would want to talk to her about the future of the child and how she can help with that. And didn't we talk about this, like making like a council. I can't remember what term you used for the like 4-year-old girl or however old she is.
Oh, Regency Council. Yes.
Yeah. So she wanted to talk to her about that and also offer one of her pawns to help protect her.
Yep. You could offer your level 3 handsome but dumb pawn.
Yeah, him.
Okay. So she first would thank you for visiting her and being kind and compassionate. She says, unfortunately, most of my ability to make decisions about my child have been taken away. The Emperor has taken her and is raising her in a very strict manner to catch up on the training that she did not receive before. She thinks about the Regency Council and she says, if the Emperor can be convinced, I do believe that it would take some of the responsibility and burden and stress off of his shoulders. Maybe he would make more compassionate decisions then.
Okay.
And so she's down with the idea of a Regency Council to help the girl.
And Lulara would make it clear that she wants to be on a part of this Regency Council.
Your voice is heard loud and clear. She understands that you are indeed one of the most cunning people in the Empire, and she would be glad for you to help her and her child. As long as the Emperor wills it, she says. She's a bit shocked at everything, and even though some time has passed, her child suddenly becoming so important has been a rather stressful situation.
I can understand that. And that's why Lulara feels so adamant about protecting her and also rearing her, I suppose, into the role that she will someday have. So that's why.
She kind of thanks you for your compassion and hopes that hopes to see you soon, and hopefully when the Empire is no longer in mourning.
Lulara returns the sentiment.
Okay. So, now, so Shakti's been doing that. Oh, none.
Oh, I'm gonna throw some spells out to see if I can find Sanjin.
Ah, okay.
So
So,
it's
I
a
can't-
scrying spell, right?
yeah, I'm gonna try to scry on them. What I'm gonna do is, in case they have the ability, what's it called? The thing that the prince uses, the detect scrying. In
Mhm.
case of that, because they are very old. Well, maybe not exactly very old. Just in case they have that, someone's gonna write out a sign that says, like, looking to talk. And then like a date or something, and hold onto that while trying to scry on this person.
Call me.
Call me,
Yeah.
maybe.
That's really funny, actually.
And I assume like a position or like their own name if they need to. Place.
Okay. It's a will save, right?
It's a will save.
What is
then
the
there's
save
also a-
DC?
Oh god, I'd have to calculate that, right? Because it's all They get a whole bunch of bonuses. Because I have no idea who they are, what they look like, or anything about them.
If
I
you had
have
the
sort of
Amulet
a
of
something.
Talmec, you would have a personal possession. Like, it would effectively be the equivalent of a hair or something from
But I
them.
don't have that, do
But you
I?
don't have that.
We could.
Actually, Onan could teleport over, spend some quality time with the anvil, and just use that while scrying.
You know what? That's not a bad idea.
Okay,
Yep.
so Onan disappears for a day or two.
Mhm.
So
So
tell
let's
me
see.
the ultimate save DC.
Okay, so save DC, that's set in stone, but then they get a modifier. Find my save
Mhm.
DC for scrying. So the DC is 22, and they get -4 because I have possession, but +5 since I only know them secondhand, so they get a +1 net.
Okay. Yeah, the scrying fails.
Okay.
You can
again
try
tomorrow.
scrying multiple times if you've.
We'll try again tomorrow, and if that doesn't work, I think we'll have to return to the capital.
Okay. The
Actually,
the
give it a
anvil
try.
the anvil finds the whole process to be a mild irritant, but understanding that you do need to find Sargent, she does not object.
Oh. That's the closest thing to, like, a big old warm hug and the anvil ever gives, so that's good. That's great. That's progress. Yeah. So let's roll that a couple more times.
The second one. Okay.
Second, third,
Each scrying attempt fails.
dang.
I rolled 4 times, assuming you prepared scrying multiple times.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So they are a hard nut to crack, the Scryon.
Hmm.
And I'm not familiar, so I can't send them, I don't think. If I could have skipped this whole process.
I'm not allowing you guys to send just off of someone's name and title
Okay.
because that's dumb.
Mm-hmm. Oh wait, if I increase this level by 4, what's that actually give us for?
Like, its
That's
caster
interesting.
level by 4 does not actually affect the save DC.
Oh right, because it's based off my wisdom.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
It allows you to get through spell resistance, which Sargent does not have. So that's good.
All right, seems like that's not going to work out. I'll return
Okay,
to the
but it was a good attempt.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good try. Okay, so now you have the names of some of the disloyal people in the Black Court. You've had a few days of crafting. I'm going to say that 4 days have passed. You guys are settling into the flow of work again. You're contacting your friends in the capital.
Sorry.
Hi, Lucy.
Don't apologize.
The cat will apologize, or no one will.
Lou.
And you manage to Tiamos.
Yeah.
Tiamos also disappears for a day or two.
Did they just vanish?
They did
I
just
think that
vanish.
one.
My God. He's stealing everyone today.
Everyone has secrets.
Oh, it's a cat. I assume your cat, but I can't be sure.
Yeah, she's a bit upset because I'm in a different room, and so I don't have a chair beside me for her to sit on. So she keeps jumping up into my lap.
I forgot that I was muted. I was talking.
Oh no.
I wonder if we're actually gonna go anywhere tonight, or if this is basically just a setup.
I mean, it seems like we're halfway through the week. It's only been an hour. We'll see how long the interrogation takes. I don't know what questions we
No,
actually have to ask.
I forget
no,
who the
no.
interrogation is.
God damn
Is
it.
it
The Princess Mercenaries. They don't really know anything.
Oh, okay.
We just sort of pick them up.
Pick him up, gonna punch him a bunch.
I figure at some point we have to release them from the frozen bag, so
I mean,
NYXL won stage 2 finals.
no one knows about them, Frost.
Ah!
Oh God, cat.
Sorry. Ow! Oh God.
Why does she always hurt you?
Because her claws are quite large,
Trim
and the
them
only people who have
claws.
ever been able to trim them without getting bitten and infected
Oof.
was the vet.
They probably like restrainer then, huh?
Oh no, they have in the vet they have these kind of like diffusers that cat pheromones.
You
Oh.
can get one.
Oh, yeah, you can buy those at like the
You can
pet
buy those. And it sort of like plugs into your wall like a
Like a
glade or
The
whatever.
breeze.
Yeah, that thing.
They also have them in collars, so you can put a collar, like a pheromone collar, on them.
ooh.
One for my cat because he
Ooh.
like freaks out whenever we move somewhere.
Yeah, she in her record at the vet, she's known to be rather violent. So it's like written right into her file that she's aggressive. And we went to the vet for her yearly checkup, and there was this new young vet guy who got briefed like this cat is an asshole. And then she was so sweet for him.
Huh.
Just so nice. It was just very strange.
He's the cat whisperer, man.
Yeah.
That's how my cat used to be, Aerith. She was pretty. She had zero tolerance for anyone who wasn't me, pretty much. So she would be like, "Fuck off if you touch me. I'm gonna." She'll swat. She wasn't very good about giving warning either. Like, yeah, that's just how she was. I kind of loved her for it though. I'm like, I'm special.
Lucy's very affectionate, but when she doesn't want to be, she can be monstrous.
this has been the cat talk part of the program.
Yeah.
Our D&D stream.
Oh, what is it?
Super
Perfect.
exciting.
This episode brought to you by Cat Pheromone Collar.
So, I mean, I could talk about Overwatch League stuff.
I mean,
sure.
yeah.
Philly
who's gonna
Fusion
stop?
Philly Fusion had an 8% chance of getting into the stage playoffs, and they somehow made it. They won against London Spitfire, which was insane. And then they just lost to NYXL, but it was on a map. It was on a map 5, so it was 2-2. And then they were in like super duper overtime because both teams pushed. They were on Gibraltar, and both teams pushed the payload to the very end. So they had to do 2 more. They each had to attack and defend one more time, and Philly was able to push it almost all the way to the end of point 3, but NYXL was able to push it to the point that they got it, and they were able to get the point and win, and Philly couldn't defend it. So kind of sad, but you know, underdogs. I like to root for them. There's also like 175,000 people watching right now.
Okay.
I'm getting my league tokens.
I still haven't got a
Oh,
single one. I'm so mad.
Crap, you're right.
You need to, okay, so go log in to your Battle.net and then
Battle.net.
go to your account management and see which apps are authorized to access your BNet.
Okay, that's setting. I need to log in a second time.
Oh, what are you doing?
I kind of want to pick up an NYXL skin because they're kind of cool. It's like blue and red. I'm not a fan of their logo, but it's grown on me.
Okay,
I
so,
will be right back.
so summary, I see all my games, account security. Here. Setting. Authorized applications. Which is on there. More info.
They are distributed kind of randomly, aren't they? The tokens? They're not just guaranteed every 5 or 10 minutes or whatever.
No, they're guaranteed per minute you watch.
Are they?
Yeah.
I mean, it says drops. I thought it was a random chance thing.
There's also a random chance for 100 at a time. I
Oh,
think.
okay.
So yes, manage authorized applications, which is the only one on there. Connected accounts?
That might be it.
No. Facebook, Xbox Live, or PlayStation Network. None of those.
Man, they're having a deep fucking conversation right now.
It's gonna leave with like 3 buckets of Cadaltric stuff.
It's just blood. Just buckets of blood.
Like, okay, everybody gets all the Dragon parts they need.
Could just, pull out their plasma, blood plasma, and then take it every day. It'd be fine. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Back.
Welcome back.
Everyone seems to be gone now.
No.
No, just quiet.
Oh, cool.
Amazing D&D stream.
Yes. Anyone have a dark, mysterious backstory the party should know about?
Maybe.
Okay. I mean, we hear so little of Saruman.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a time, we're not doing anything. What goes on in the mind of Saruman? Well, I guess none of us are actually here for an in-character talk.
She wants to kill all of you.
That sounds about right, yeah.
What about Onan? Because I missed the day you
Oh.
introduced her.
Yeah. So she was basically told by the voice to go hunt and take down the prince, or separate the prince from the party at least.
Hmm.
And she very eagerly agreed because she's sort of got a passing grudge. She's Department of Logistics, so she worked on sort of supplying the armies that got absolutely shredded in Ruha a few years ago.
Okay.
And so she's like very against that place and was looking for a chance at redemption. And that failed as well, but you know. And now she's sort of hanging with the party because her actions have caused them to have maybe not an enemy, but a powerful rival, and to also be down one person.
Hmm.
Plus, it's a worthy cause. Hey, they're back.
A worthy cause.
yeah,
Yes.
A cause is
Welcome
always
back.
worthy.
back
Mhm.
so soon.
Okay. I know, like, everyone's trying to advance their own things, and I can't have it on stream because then everyone can hear it, you know?
Well, no, you need to be the one streaming, and then just
And then I
Go
need
watch
to
it.
say none of you can watch the recorded stream?
yes.
Well, would any? I don't think anyone does that anyway. So
I mean, like this would
not the people
happen
playing.
like anytime you do something that's alone with Snake. That could happen,
Yeah.
and yet does it?
No.
We have no way of knowing actually.
I don't know about you guys, but I watch everything religiously.
Over and
Oh,
over
no.
and over.
It's
That's
basically
all
all
she
I
does.
do while I'm waiting. Just let the whole thing start back again and again.
So, let's do the interrogation of the prince's mercenaries. It should be relatively quick.
All
You
right.
currently have all of them unconscious and frozen. Oh yeah. Because I'm going to be you know those rumors that I asked people to prepare? Yeah. I'm sending bits of them to people. If something's wrong, something's just wrong. I will have no way of fixing it.
Oh no.
There's Catan VR now. Just like
There's
you guys
what?
should know.
Woo.
Catan in VR.
So I need to find all of my rumors. One of them disappeared. That's fine. That's fine. It's gonna be fine. There's no reason to panic, everyone.
Panic.
Okay. Panic at the Disco.
The world is falling apart by the seams. If Ian doesn't know what's going on, our characters cease to exist.
Oh no.
Very much so. So these are what your friends and your colleagues and
Oh, I believe that
You're-
one definitely.
these are what some of the things you have heard of some of the other characters. I did not
Give
get
it one
rumors
person,
from
just all negatives. Like, just all the negative rumors all go to one person, or all the untrue rumors go to one person,
Yep, I'm very much about that.
just to make them really uninformed or angry.
So these are just things your character has heard about others, and these are rumors, so you don't know truth, falsity, but you can probably tell if the rumors are good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Now, for the prince's mercenaries, are you bringing them to one of the asylums and doing like chiseling them out of the ice and then talking with them? You knocked all of them out.
Yeah.
So I'll take that as a yes. We're
Yes.
Okay. I'll take that as a yes. Oh, I'll get some thematic music playing, you know. Not music, just atmosphere. It's like dark and stormy as you throw them into cells. Now, you have from what you can tell, you have a samurai, an archer, some kind of cleric, some kind of wizard, a monk, and a rogue. Which one? You captured all of them alive. Which one of them are you going to talk to first?
Does it matter?
Here. I've put the list of the people.
Do we know
Did
anything?
one of them seem like the leader before?
You
Who's the one who
actually,
saw talking to the prince through scrying?
the one talking to the prince was the rogue,
All right,
Zinnia.
let's start there. These names all elaborate puns that I'm not getting yet.
No, they are Chinese names.
Okay, just making sure.
I'm not going to make puns at every opportunity, lest they lose their impactfulness.
Anagrams.
God, if you could find anagrams of these, that would be kind of amazing. Especially with ones that have like multiple X's. Like, what are what is what? So, you get the rogue. Laura unicifies them with an application of healing magic. They are brought into consciousness, suitably trapped, stripped of magic items. The rogue looks at all of you and is a little bit confused and a bit afraid. The rogue asks, I don't know who you are, but I was just hired for a job and I'm a little bit fuzzy on the details.
Is he telling the truth?
Confess! He's telling most of the truth. There is... It's more that he's admitting something.
Well, we know how this is gonna go. Actually, could we save time and unfreeze all the other people and just have them watch this one?
Okay.
Oh boy.
Dang.
This is
Sometimes what is good for the goose is bad for the gander. It is well known, saying in homeland. It has cultural significance. You effectively get in one of the larger rooms and strap people down. The rogue kind of looks a bit uncomfortable with all of the companions being in the same room and you guys only talk to him. Into the light the rogue goes, so
Just, some smacks across the face,
That seems a little unnecessary.
Good
for
cop,
starters,
bad
but
cop
okay.
with himself.
No, the good cop is. Okay.
Someone else can join in. It's not just Muscus.
I don't know what good cop is supposed to do.
Bad cop,
I
bad
am in
cop.
the background sharpening my knives.
yes, you
I don't-
can. Roll an
All
intimidate check. You add +2 to his. Okay.
What would I do?
Oh, none is just staring at the party in abject horror. Like,
Oh
what?
no.
They're mercenaries.
I want to be.
I pointedly asked Moskus if I can have the next one.
Muscus says, well, but of course.
Roll on
The
dex
next
save.
one.
Okay, hold on. Whoa. Before. So Lalara steps in and she's like, easy there, boys. We don't have to pull out all the stops at first.
Oh, I wasn't going to work on his fingers yet.
I was
Lalara
only gonna
looks
knock
at
him out
the-
again.
Lalara looks and, smiles her charming smile and just says, "This will go much easier and less painfully if you just tell us what we want to know."
Okay, so all of you are rolling intimidate to add to
Oh,
Moska's.
am I intimidating? I'm trying to make them feel better.
Well, then roll diplomacy to add to, as you
Gonna
play
roll
the
diplomacy.
good cop.
The
to
one good
the
cop.
party to the
Good
party's dirty cops.
Do I have Pearl of Luck here?
Yep,
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Are
Can
we?
I add this to?
it would be an additional plus
It's like
3.
quick meta.
I,
Are we
I
giving-
don't know who of you is actually getting the Pearl of Luck.
Plus, is an additional +3. We can just pass it around.
We could pass around.
We-
But-
Although, like, it is kind of conspicuous.
No.
We'll just throw it like a football.
After this interrogation, we need to just like say somebody gets it, even after we have to fucking roll
I
a
can-
die.
I can
Okay,
craft
good
it
promise.
and like put it in a necklace and
Hey,
make
yeah.
it all.
Oh, but Kong would definitely be adding to the intimidate roll. Let's see what he does with his like -3 from size. Intimidate. Oh, he's got 1. Scary monkey. 13.
He's cute though.
No, he does not like that.
Yeah, but Laura thinks everything is cute. Well, animals. Mostly.
Okay.
I feel like Ian's doing some number crunching on his side.
Yeah. And so the rogue goes, okay, you must understand that ever since I've talked with that smarmy bastard in that lonesome tavern, I have not really been feeling myself. And I don't think anyone else here has either, because the prince talked with each one of these people individually. I'm not even the team leader, we're just 6 random adventurers.
That sounds about right.
So you don't feel well even now.
Well, especially not
No.
right now. He's looking at...
Well, let's slap the cuffs of anti-magic on him then, because that should take
Onan
off.
already
everything.
broke enchantment on the group
Oh, well.
from the fight. Every person had something break on them.
Oh, okay.
They should all be fine now.
I mean, we could do it anyway.
We could.
Okay, you slap
Just,
the anti-magic
you know.
cuffs.
Nothing gets by
And-
anti-magic.
And he goes, well, this isn't making me feel any more comfortable. I still feel odd. I can't really remember the time between when I talked with him and when I was frozen into a block of ice.
Memory lapse.
Well, I do the memory stuff, right? For people.
That's Ruha.
That's pretty
He's been
normal.
branching out to that, yeah.
Should I smack him?
That probably
No.
wouldn't help at this point. Oh wait,
roll
wait.
a sense
Yeah, I was
motive.
gonna say.
You guys can roll sense motive to see if he's actually telling the truth.
I always forget.
DMO, stop giving into gender stereotypes. Be the good cop for once.
I meant breaking in the enchantment.
You can't actually just
No.
hammer someone's enchantment away.
Scream at him and then attack the air.
It honestly appears like they don't. At least the rogue is telling the truth. He doesn't remember much between the time he met the tavern owner or the prince in the tavern.
Let's roll
All
a,
I just remember is an overpowering voice giving me orders in my head, and it just seemed so right at the time. And then I was supposed to give a letter to you, your group, if I ever encountered you. The prince said it was a message and insurance. I
Mhm.
don't really understand what he meant by that.
Okay,
we have
gonna
the letter
roll
with us.
spellcraft to see.
Yes, you do, and I've put the text of the letter
Right.
into a handout.
Can someone do detect magic on the letter?
Ooh, can I just?
Occurs to me that the letter might actually be enchanted.
I mean, it could also be poisoned.
I
I
mean,
don't think anyone rolled any fortitude save.
yeah, I think we're fine.
That'd be
You guys haven't yet approached the level of character paranoia, which I had one character who had used tongs to first touch items before they could be detected, because if there was poison, it's not like it could be poisoned through tongs, or if there's a magic effect, at least it might only affect the tongs.
It's pretty smart.
So, Prince Ruhan's letter post-battle. That is the text of it. You roll detect magic, and there is a small amount of magic. Whoever rolled detect magic can roll spellcraft.
Bet Lalara could figure that out.
But I didn't roll detect magic. I guess I could.
Isn't that a
Yeah,
cantrip?
there's nothing stopping you from
Yeah, it's
doing
a cantrip.
so now.
not a-
Yeah, you should have that all the time.
Yeah.
I would think.
Yeah, I have it.
Yeah, I got detect magic. I'll roll my.
It's like a
I
staple.
don't think I've ever done it. How do I roll it?
It's just it's a thing you do. It's not a roll.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
Well, I detect magic on that.
Okay, and once you detect magic, you can then do a
Spellcraft.
spellcraft to... If you concentrate long enough on something, you can do a spellcraft to figure out what kind of power and school of magic something is. So, both Frosty and Lalara and Lauren all find that there was lingering enchantment magic on it, but it has already been expended, as it were. It's no danger to anyone anymore. It's a lingering magic. You think that maybe a Geos spell was placed on this? Or a dominate person? It seems like when the prince gave the letter to these people, they fell under his control.
Okay. Is there any spell like? Can I roll spellcraft to see if dominate person would reduce memories, or
Yeah,
Or
you
if
can
this
roll
is a local
spellcraft to know
another spell.
that about dominate person.
I mean, I could literally just cast it and check. But
Did you remember me controlling you?
the science myself firsthand.
Dominate person does not affect memory. It's some kind of other spell. Either that or the prince has an improved version of dominate person that
Is only
affects the
special brew?
memory.
Do we know if like memory reducing, if there are memory stopping spells that aren't like lingering in effect, they're just a instant
I mean,
edit, like how people mind works.
I have
Yes.
Okay.
Although
I have a spell that could do something similar to this, but it's very limited in scope.
Which spell?
modify memory.
Yeah, modify memory.
But let me guess. That one has a duration on it, right?
No, it just changes 5 minutes of a subject.
And it has a duration of permanence, so someone could break it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a spell. The prince has something that isn't.
It could be a poison.
Oh, that's true. But at any rate, if they don't know anything, they don't know anything.
Yeah.
If they're not under any further effects, then I see no reason to keep them. If we really wanted to take a eviler route, we could. They're adventurers, they might have that same adventurer's insurance sort of thing.
You could ransom them back
Yeah.
to if they have parent organizations.
Mhm. but I don't know if that's a route we want to go through.
I think that's too much effort, and we don't want to piss off organizations without good reason.
Yep, agreed.
We've got literally
So-
more important things to do. If we were low level, like at level 5, that may be like, hey, that seems like a thing we could do. But otherwise,
All right.
Okay, so you guys kind of are gonna, after interrogating each and making sure that if the memory scrambling on all of them are as just like on the rogue, which through inspection is the case, you're gonna let them, you're gonna heal them up a bit and then just let them go into the capital with what
Yeah, I
they
suppose
have.
so.
I don't know if there might be a holding period for people like that, whatever the policy would be.
Oh, they're. I mean, you are the ones that attacked them. So.
That's
The-
fair, but they were agents of Ruha.
Ah, okay. Well, since you have already gone through the interrogation and realized they were unwitting agents of Ruha, there'd probably be a 24 to 48 hour wait, like quarantine period,
Hmm.
just to make sure there wasn't some lingering spell contingency to make them fall back under control.
Sounds good.
Okay. Well, after they're told that they are. That it's kind of okay. That it's kind of okay now. They relax a bit. They realize they're going to be in these cells for a little bit, but it's better to be in the cells and free eventually than dead on the side of a road.
Yeah. This actually worked out for them rather well.
Plus, they got to see the inside of a cell.
So scenic.
It's like a non-lethal approach was a good idea.
I
It
mean,
all
we didn't
worked
get their
out. It's
loot,
all wholesome,
so, you know.
despite the fact that TMOS was not. it's
I
not into
really
that.
wanted to kill that samurai.
I mean, still a chance.
Yeah, in his cell, unarmed. So heroic. So honorable.
Show
Hey.
us what Cadalstrix taught you.
I'm not lawful.
Show us how chaotic does.
Crit fail, drop your weapon, he picks it up and kills you with it.
That's definitely what would happen.
Only in D&D can a fight go so bad so fast.
Well, to be fair, critical fumbles are actually pretty much just an extremely well circulated house rule.
Mhm.
So, now it's either you guys go. Let's see. You've interrogated the prince's mercenaries. You've done a bunch of capital stuff. Matt, did you want to share with the class?
Yes, I do. So I met with Cadalatrix, and he gave me some important information about what's going to be on auction soon. Apparently, the Pearl of Serenity is going to be up for auction.
Ooh.
Mm.
How much? What's the starting bid?
Did he tell me the starting bid?
100,000 gold.
Whew. Whew.
He said that he had agents who were going to make a bid, but I don't know how
Now,
how
the
much
Pearl
that
of
was
Serenity,
for.
it's historically known for ending wars and conflicts, sheathing weapons, and stopping hostilities. It is famously known for stopping 1 or 2 wars.
We could actually use.
However, what the mechanics of how it does so are kind of shrouded in the mists of time.
When's the auction?
Now that you're actually looking for it, it's going to be in 2 days.
We got time to grab that dragon thing, maybe. Though we don't know
With-
exactly where it is.
I mean, with how fast we move, probably.
You could probably do the meet with Saragen thing. Or at least
We
ask
don't
the
have any of
Baelnorn
these.
where it is.
Oh, I guess the Belmont, yeah.
Let's do that. We'll probably have next session be the dungeoneering session.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna throw
I
out a
did
whole
warn
bunch
you
of-
that this might be talky plot advancy kind of session. That occasionally has to happen, just like maintenance. Like a janitor occasionally has to mop the blood off the floor.
Or Santa's cabin, whichever.
Yes.
Yes. All right.
Or a ninja temple.
I got 4 teleports because it's my travel day. On my capital day stuff. Let's head to the Belmorn.
Let's
See
do
where
it.
that takes us.
Okay. You teleport. Are you gonna do? You guys do have an item of sending to the Baelnor. Are you gonna say that you're coming, or are you going?
I mean,
to
I've got
just
sending
chill?
on our own.
That's
Fair
true.
enough.
It's nice having sending as a party skill.
Guess we may as well use the pearl though. Save our charges in case we need.
Okay. You do a sending saying what you're coming by today. You're just gonna drop on in.
Yep.
And are you gonna say why you want to speak with her?
We're
Nah,
looking
that's
for
too
someone
much.
who might be fine. That's too many words. Whatever.
Just say, hey, we're coming by.
Hey, we're coming in
Ruha.
3 seconds later.
Ruha sucks.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys, you teleport to the top of you teleport to the library. The booze witch, as it were, is still there, still on the lookout, still happy to see you. She says, when you're done your business down there, I've tried a new whiskey recipe.
Gimme.
Great. You guys go down. The Baelnorn is in her garden, meditating. As you approach, she opens her eyes. Greetings, comrades. I do believe that I do not know the pleasure by which you visit me, but it's likely to do with an artifact, is it not?
It's always somehow related.
Well, the artifacts are tied with the fate of the nation, as it were. So, how can I assist you today? She's smiling. You guys must realize that you talk with a lot of the most powerful people in
We're
the country,
networkers.
and you
Yeah.
talk really casually to them. Like, you guys don't do voice, oh leader of our nation kind of stuff. Or when you talk with a Dawn caller, you don't say like she you don't address her by a title. I mean, hell, with
Just
you
don't know
start
what the
talking about
actual-
sniffing taints with the anvil.
Well, we realize they have people talk that way to them all the time, so it's refreshing for people to not give a shit.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sure they worked really
Yeah.
hard for those titles for the refreshment of.
Look, they were
Being-
born into it most of the time, okay? So
I think you were born into.
the voice
being one
was.
of the booksellers. Also, there's no like we don't really know what the correct term is. Your
No one
That
taught us
majesty
courtesy.
seems too little for literal godlike beings walking the world. So it's just, hey, you. It's like when you don't know someone's name.
I was literally on the street for years.
Okay, Lauren, you cast Detect Magic on the Baelnorn. She is a Christmas tree of magic. there are dozens of effects layered upon her. She looks at you a bit oddly as you cast Detect Magic on her. She says, "Are you looking for anything in particular?"
Yes, but I hope never to find it.
Ah, are you worried about the prince and his machinations?
He has popped up recently for us.
Oh yeah, I was
Well-
going to scry on the prince because I have a few prepared every day, just to confirm he's still in Reva, but I didn't, so continue.
Okay. She just goes, I understand your caution, but I have at least 3 different effects that would help mitigate that risk on me at all times. As a caster of my power, I worry most about mind control. Because someone mind controlling me could do a great deal of damage to the Empire and the world. But enough about my overwhelming power. That sounds like something more that Cadalatrix would say. Now, which artifacts are you seeking knowledge about today?
I'm actually looking for a person.
Oh,
A Samsaran.
do you have a name? There are plenty of Samsarans out there.
No, just the one. Okay.
There can only be one.
Just get us the list, I guess. Could be anyone. No, Surgeon.
As you say that name, her brows furrow a bit, and she says, "Where did you hear that name?"
From
The anvil.
She, the Baelnorn nods and says, "Of all people, the pillars would likely know. Sergin is a rather unique existence, even in Samsaran circles. One thing you must understand about their race is that even if they remember fragments of their past lives, it usually isn't. They usually don't remember that much. Sarajin remembers a particular life so much that every time they come back, that life informs what they end up doing, usually about the time they hit puberty, they remember. The reason I know so much about this is because that pool of the anti-phoenix water, the blessed water, was created by Sarajin.
Oh dang.
Oh,
And that is where I first met him, because him, her, it,
Them.
they, them.
I don't think they like it. I don't think anyone likes it. Them is pretty bad.
Sarajin is at this point more of a pillar of will embodied into a corporeal form than a creature. But
sounds like an asshole.
the Baelnorn says, "No, just driven.
It sounds
Incredibly driven." But Sarajin, it turns out, when Sarajin dies, they come back. Usually once they hit puberty and remember their purpose, they come back here to anoint themselves onto their never-ending quest through the river of time. That is, since I had taken up residence here, I was surprised one day to find a teenage Samsaran, or a adolescent Samsaran, bursting down my door to find a pool. Since then, I've seen several of their lives pass. And each time it's a different body, but the same soul. Different personalities, too, sometimes. They're nicer, sometimes they're more scholarly. One time they were very angry. But,
When was the most recent intrusion?
well, this one's still active. In fact, they're reaching one of the highest pinnacles of power I've seen in the incarnations of Saragens, as it were. Well, you must understand that Saragen is a priest of a long-forgotten god. And they still get power from it, so evidently the god isn't fully dead, despite there being few, if any, temples to them. Saragen, I last spoke to Saragen about, well, 2 weeks ago. Saragen, their duty informed them that they must go to the volcano that had exploding people coming out of it
Oh boy.
and fight the exploding people.
Oops.
Saragen is, if there's anything you can count on them for, it is their dedication to destroying the Phoenix cult. They've been doing it for 4,000 years.
Well, that's good.
Hmm.
Hey, how come we've taken more of those relics out of where they're supposed to be than they have?
Well, you see, every time they usually act as an individual, and every time they fail, it's about a 20 to 40 year gap before they can try again. Because they have to become, they get reborn as a child.
Maybe we should try and get them to work with us.
Well, seeing
yeah.
how you have done so much against the Phoenix cult, they would likely speak to you. And if your cause was aligned with theirs, they would likely work with you. I don't see why they wouldn't. Except for the towering arrogance of being the final priest of a dying god. She doesn't elaborate. The Baelnor does not elaborate on that point.
Where can we find Saragen?
Oh,
Volcano.
might still be at the volcano.
Likely still is.
Yeah.
They're likely helping the Imperial force that was sent to contain the exploding people.
You know, we could probably help a little.
Yeah.
Take some
Since
dishes
we
with
are-
a Kane or something.
I mean, I got mover and summon laborers in stone shape aplenty. We can change that situation pretty good.
At least box them in. They're not strong. They're just exploding.
It is
All
also our fault that there is a volcano.
No. We don't talk about that.
No, none knows about that, but is not implicit in this at all.
Oh,
There
but you're
it
with
is.
us, and no one knows when you joined.
All right. I guess let's head over there, make some noise, and see who pops up.
Do you have anything else you want to ask me, or shall I expect another 10 minutes before... to expect you 10 minutes before I engage in any other activity?
Do we also want to
Okay, remember the
ask
like,
about the dragon armor?
We
you don't like have a tome to ask with.
Well, seeing how one of you, she looks at Shakti, has 2 rituals performed unto them, that should be sufficient. I would just need a drop of her blood.
I offer my arm, my hand.
She takes your hand very gently, pulls out a wicked-looking sacrificial knife, and does the teeniest prick on one of your fingers. As the blood drop falls, she expertly whips out a small glass vial, picks it up, stoppers it, and then casts a healing spell on the finger that was pricked. She then goes over to the divination table, takes takes the stopper, puts a few more like liquid ingredients into it, and then splashes it across the table. The final aspect of the dragon armor appears on the table. It is north, beyond the Empire, in the wild magic wastes.
Ooh,
Interesting. It's near the mammoth.
we were
It's
right
probably
there.
inside the mammoth.
Ah, fuck. We didn't check. Damn it.
Get wrecked! No,
We
We did
Yeah,
look
we-
at the mammoth in the
you
eye.
actually took all of the mammoth
Yeah,
meat, so.
we did. We should
That's
get
true.
more.
Yeah, but we didn't take like the mammoth's eyes. Maybe those were dragon eyes. We didn't realize.
Shit.
Okay. That's good.
Can we get a...
That's good.
Is there any way to scry to get a physical location to teleport to?
Unfortunately, in the wild magic wastes, it would be possible, but more difficult.
Oh, was
You've
it
been
like
there?
Also, you guys have been to where the mammoth figure is. That is where the encounter that you guys happened when there was the teleport mishap.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys have kind of been up there.
So I can teleport us to the mammoth
Yeah.
area
Yeah.
pretty safely. And then we can fly over.
Yeah. That's a
Okay.
pretty short fly.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello?
What's up?
Hey. Everybody was robots, so I restarted Discord.
Okay.
Good. Because I am not a robot.
So, Onan could teleport us a long distance, and then you could teleport us precisely.
Yep.
Is Onan has not been to there.
Right.
I guess one hasn't been to much of the north, to be honest. But
Yeah, that's almost 2,000
I don't know what
miles.
she's done in her travels. Actually, she's worked as logistics, and there was a war in Xantar, so she could take us like up to somewhere on the Xantar border, and then Lark.
I mean, you could just guess and try to teleport us as far that way as you can, right?
probably, yeah. I don't know how the spell works. What do I look
And
like? Am I
what,
fighting?
if we wind up fighting some mammoths again? It's fine.
Okay, I'm gonna teleport us north. Roll that.
North by 1,400 miles on level ground, not into anything.
Somewhere above the ground and north, and not like 5 feet from us. That'd also be bad. Yeah. See how that rolls.
Okay. Maybe not quite yet now.
Yeah, actually, we
guys-
should be doing the volcano thing first. I
Yeah,
think.
volcanoes
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
And you also have the ones in the Forest of Roll20 that you could aim
Yeah.
for.
Mhm.
Right
those are
in the
more at risk of being
backyard of
Stolen, actually.
right in the backyard of Shakti.
Okay, do we want 200 miles? How long is that to fly?
Yeah, that would be a few hours on the bird. Actually, no, that would
Always
probably be
have
like a day.
Teleport.
Okay. uh,
Remember, the bird can travel day and night.
I mean, yeah, but we got 2 days to get what we
That's
want
fair.
to do done. Get back to the cap.
okay, so I am going to roll GM roll 1d100.
Wait, were we doing the volcano first or not?
Yep, to the
Okay.
volcano.
Okay.
He's teleporting to the volcano.
And Onun's been all around Haval, so shouldn't be a problem.
Okay, you guys teleport. You are probably a mile or two away from the base of this volcano. You teleport onto a cliff plateau that overlooks. It turns out you're actually in a small town, a small hamlet that actually isn't so small or hamlety anymore. Fortifications have been built here. It also a barracks. You're seeing people who wouldn't be living in this town normally. It appears like this is where the Empire is making a fortified outpost to keep a lookout on the volcano. As you guys appear, you see several guards and adventurers get on guard, see all of you, and then some of them start relaxing while the others aren't quite relaxed yet. One of them, an older woman with heavily armored, she's dwarf with a scar that just runs down her face from the top of her forehead cleanly through her nose and then through her lips as well. It's like someone just took a incredibly sharp blade and tried to cut her face in half.
They failed.
Approaches you.
Or did they?
God damn it.
She approaches and says, "Not to be disrespectful, but who are ya?"
Moska's
Also,
double
I do
taps
need
his
to mention,
chest.
because everyone gets into the bag to teleport, it's just Onan standing there.
Why
opening
is
a
it
bag
everyone?
And people pouring out. Well, most people, anyways.
Wouldn't it be just like a person tops?
I don't know.
Isn't it 5 people for a teleport?
It's one. It's the person teleporting plus 1 for every 3 caster levels. So it's
So-
5 people.
But
Especially because you aren't taking Jimmy along. Only one person has to go into bag duty.
Oh yeah, we don't.
And the
but
bird
all the
is hostile.
familiars. It's like a raven, a cat, and a
Yeah,
what
they can
coming
go
out of the
into a
bag.
bag or whatever.
So, anyways,
So you guys appear, and then who? Should I just roll randomly to see who was the random bag person, or will someone accept being a bag person?
I mean, I can be a bag person. That's fine.
Okay. As Shakti kind of just emerges from the bag,
Yeah. Like,
you see this heavily armored dwarf woman with like a warhammer just casually slung over her shoulder and a dangling and in her no, she doesn't have a beard. Around her neck, just the symbol of Torag.
oh, another follower of the only one true God.
She smiles and says, she says, well, while I do enjoy hearing that, Torag is not the one true God, but Torag is the truest God to my heart. But flattery will get you nowhere. May I ask who you are? She says as she just has the warhammer casually flung over her neck. Over.
Onan does a respectful salute, probably more respectful than she needs to, depending on who their position is.
Mhm.
Says, Onan, Iron Lotus, you gotta move some earth and get this volcano a little bit prettier looking.
Oh, I didn't get a sending or a message that we would be receiving reinforcements.
Just in the neighborhood, not actually here on official duty.
Ah, well, you wouldn't be the only one not here on an official duty.
No?
Yes, we have this. I would call him a zealot, but he's
they blue
been
with
quite
white eye?
helpful. Don't know his skin color. He's always an Adam. He's in a good set of full plate, but he speaks. He speaks like a priest.
Well, wasn't hard to find.
Well,
They can
not
talk
when
well,
you
but-
know exactly where they are. No.
We need to know their name, what they're doing, and where they would be. I mean,
Yeah,
wow.
we did it, guys.
Man.
Your
Top
scrying
detectives.
failed because he has a stupid eye will save.
All right. Let's go find them and maybe talk well. I throw some spell slots at this volcano problem.
Okay. So you say, well, he's currently helping the team on shift. You'll find them halfway up the volcano, performing. Well, the reason why he's so valuable is that he's the only one that keeps that. Once they explode, he stops them from exploding again.
Oh, that's useful.
Oh dang.
Whoa.
We've tried to do what he does, but it just doesn't seem to work. Maybe it's his special. Maybe he has a special scythe. Maybe it's whatever strange god he worships. He stops them.
Mosca says aside to the group, "We should have brought some water."
We still have those ice tools.
Oh,
You've
you're
had them
right.
since you first found the
Let's
freaking spring.
Give them to people here at the volcano.
All right.
Like
yes,
shape
give
them
all
into
of them away.
daggers or something.
Give them all away. Yes. I think they're already shaped into daggers too.
It's
Or
fine.
general tools. I don't think we made like a warhammer out of it because I don't know how that would work.
It
but
wouldn't be us doing it. Like we're not here to actually fix the problem.
yeah.
Anyway, bird out.
Boom. Ah!
I'm assuming dwarves wouldn't like large birds of prey, but
Well, this dwarf seems to just stoically take it. She looks and she says, "That's about what I thought about when I recognized your face. Wondering where it was."
Muska simply nods.
Good luck storming the volcano. You guys fly. You notice that there seems to be a fight happening, but as you approach, you see one final explosion, and then not much else is happening. Floating, having spotted the explosion, you start going towards it. You see a figure in what you would know as adamantine full plate,
Ooh.
with two brilliant copper and gold wings floating above where the explosion was. The figure hovers down, sprinkles some water with this. They have a scythe in one hand made purely of adamantine, and sprinkling some water and saying and muttering something. You can't see the mouth, and it's far too far away to know what's happening.
To get a better idea of this volcano, is there like still lava spewing from it, or is it just?
It seems like it's more like now it's just a steady river
Okay.
of lava rather than the violent explosion that it once was before.
Mhm.
And in fact, Empire Magics, you see a few decanters of endless water actually being used to cool lava and direct the flow to places where they don't mind lava going. So you see the obvious attempts of the Empire to. You see an outpost on the volcano itself. You see a road that has been constructed from the outpost to the town. You see at the base of the volcano walls being built. The Empire has been taking this threat seriously. And work has been done.
One second.
Well, let's go and talk to this floating person.
As you approach, the wings kind of just dissipate as if a spell had finished. Actually, people roll spellcraft checks to try to identify what spell that was.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Nice.
Okay. Lauren, Okay. Lauren and Lalara both know what this spell is. It is the Greater Angelic Aspect spell. Usually only cast by very high level clerics or powerful paladins. Effectively, for its duration, it gives you many of the aspects of an angel. It's rather powerful against evil, and it even gives them the ability to converse to any creature, like an angel. So this person evidently has access to powerful divine spells.
It's like you're saying we can't win this conflict by freezing them and carrying them away.
I mean, nothing is stopping you. I'm just saying that I'm just describing what you guys are seeing. A lot of the magic you do is relatively high level too. Like if outside observers saw Lalara shoot a freezing sphere and destroy part of a forest, they'd be like, oh, those guys ain't nothing to fuck with. So, one of the Empire soldiers sees you approach and points you out to the armored figure. The armored figure turns and just looks at you. You can't see its eyes because of the visor.
What's this guy's name again? Sarajin?
We
Sarajin.
think it's Surgeon, we don't know. It would make sense, though. It would make a lot of sense.
I guess Lalara says she does a bow and says, "Greetings. We are looking for the Honorable Sarajin."
The figure in full plate nods and then says, "Well, then you have found him. My name is Sarajin the Eternal. Who might you be?"
Hold on a second. Let me look at my shit. Do I really even have a title?
You haven't given yourself a title, so we have Onan the Iron Lotus. You guys haven't really given yourself titles like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
gonna
nothing's
change.
stopping you from doing so because at this point you would have a title, just like the Crimson Tornado or something like that. Really depends on how cheesy you feel like being.
Moscus the Birdman.
So
Moscus, the
TMOs.
tiny thing.
Or
that's
you could be
on its head.
Moscus, Master of Akane.
Tiamos, the drummer boy.
In Akane, Black Talon, and then that
You
thing
mean the
sitting on
little
top of
drummer
Black
boy?
Yeah.
Oh,
Little drummer boy, that's great. I gotta write that down. The princess can use that.
you know,
Ba-rum-pum-pum-pum.
nickname for the person who is supposed to not be remembered. Tiamos.
Yeah. So that's why Tiamos doesn't have a title. Tiamos was trying to be undercover in most of their operations.
Yeah.
Lalara says, "I am Lalara Kaishi of the Emperor's Court of Concubines, and these are my comrades."
The
She just
figure
introduces
nods
herself.
and says, "I have heard you from who I believe is a mutual friend. They live in a garden."
Ah,
yes.
the Belnorn.
The Belmarn, yes.
The figure nods. Says, "I have heard of you, but I do not involve myself much in the goings of the court. I am a warrior against the Phoenix, first and foremost, and more earthly politics usually stops me from my aims.
I believe in this case, we have a similar goal.
The head cocks slightly to the side. Go on.
Someone else take it from here.
So, for reasons I'd rather not get into, we've begun hunting the Phoenix Regalia. We've actually managed to...
You should really go into the reasons why we're hunting down the Phoenix Regalia right
A
now.
little bit.
Like, that should be
The
early
moment,
on
the
in your
moment you bring up the
explanation.
Phoenix Regalia, like, Surgeon looks at some of the Imperial people around and say, is this really the place to have a conversation about that?
Oh, we could go up further on the mountain if you'd like.
He nods, and then he sort of just turns to the rest and say, would you go inside? These court officials and I are speaking on matters most sensitive. And it seems like the various warriors just sort of grumble a bit or nod and acquiesce, and they sort of walk out of hearing range. The constant sizzle and burning of the volcano kind of happens in the background, punctuated by the occasional explosion.
If only you could harness that energy. Oh wait, they were trying.
You want to be a firebender?
Yeah.
He goes, the Belnorn told me of your success in retrieving several of the Phoenix artifacts. For that I am grateful. I do not believe, however, the orb should have been moved.
That was a necessity rather than a choice. Other groups were attempting to obtain it at the same time we went to check on it, and if we hadn't been there, it would have been taken by someone.
The orb is by far, while the other two are insidious in their own ways, the orb is by far the most dangerous aspect of it. But continue. Why did you search out these artifacts? You can feel his judgmental stare through the blank visor.
Meta-wise, I kind of forget why we hunted the Phoenix. Oh, because we think it's for the... They might be attacking the king? Was that the original reason?
I think you thought that the Phoenix artifacts were A, bad news and bad for the Empire in general, and B, you thought that maybe they were causing the Emperor to go insane.
Yeah.
Which, that theory hasn't been disproven because you now know the last one is in the Emperor's vault.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, it's been a long time since we
I
started.
know, and that's why, if you guys ever need to say, Ian, meta-wise, what is this, or why did we say we did this, or can you explain the significance of what they're saying? Just ask meta-wise. It is better for you to ask and like have a slight pause in the game than for you to go on for like 3 sessions more confused about why we're doing anything.
So yeah, Mazga says the Emperor has recently become ill, and we were under the impression that it may have been something to do with the Phoenix Regalia. We also thought that the Phoenix cult was coming back in general, so we thought it best to kind of nip that in the butt. Turns out...
Wise words and wise moves. The Regalia has destroyed more than a few kingdoms.
Mazga says a quick...
Put into capable hands, like the Dawncaller and that evil dragon in the desert.
Yep.
He looks at you and said, "You gave it to the Umbral. What did you give to the Umbral dragon?"
The scepter. Not me. Them.
He turns to the rest of the group
Oh god.
and goes, "Of all of the beings to give it to, you give it to the one that delights in eating the dead?"
Would you really want Cadalatrix to have it?
The figure seems to think on that. and then says Cadalatrix would at least never try to use it.
Yeah, but he might put
Although
it
I
into
do not
its...
believe that the Umbral Dragon would be foolish enough to do so.
I feel like he'd
Here's
put
a
it in
fun
that
and
alternate
slightly
dimension.
worrying. Here's a slightly ominous reminder. The prince is the one who was really pushing the party to give it to the dragon that was in the desert.
Yeah, but it's
That's
still a
true.
pillar. Regardless of the... Like, Ruha is not strong enough to take a pillar out. I would hope.
What about Runavahk? He was talking about utilizing Runavahk.
We don't know the full extent of their relationship, though.
No.
That's the problem.
Is
It's also
Ruhan
like-
getting... Sorry, is Ruhan getting high right now?
Yeah, that's what's happening.
And he's just trying to harness Runavahk?
Just like, man, it bums me out that there's this dragon he's stomping around because he owns the place. This is my desert, man, our desert.
It's no one's desert.
Hey man, I'm just getting real high and talking to a worm.
On a bunch of rocks.
So, and he says, while the people here might not know the reason for this volcano, I do believe I do. Did you do any caution or research as to why you shouldn't just remove the scepter from here?
There were a lot of cultists around, so we
No.
kind of took it. That's pretty much our thought process.
They don't seem very forthcoming.
The figure takes off his helmet. You see a bald, blue-headed man who, like, he looks young, but his eyes are just unimaginably old and tired. And he just he looks at you, and then kind of just goes, I've spent many of my lifetimes researching the Monska people. I know their tongue. I know possibly more than any living creature how their temples work. And I know the dangers of the Phoenix regalia that led to the end of their empire.
Whoa.
And you have been meddling in forces that took down an empire that was at a relative strength to the one that is now.
Really wish that the Bilnern would have introduced us.
Yeah, that's one of the Balnor. It's all her fault, not
The
ours.
Baelnorn knows much, but does not know to the extent to what she meddled in. I did not tell anyone, but you are far too involved for me not to tell you something. He says as you stand on the volcano that was created.
Well, look. At least they're split up and not in the Phoenix cult's hands. Except for
Yes,
one.
and for that I have to thank you. I have been able to put to rest at least 1,000 souls. So it is a relatively good thing you did what you did.
How little water are you using to put them down? Or potion, I guess.
Oh, he takes out what appears to be like a water flask. He says, "This is a specially created item that I have for this that creates the right kind of blessed water for this. I had it made." He closes his eyes, and then he says, 700 years ago? Around? Memories and years get fuzzy.
So do you like put this stuff in a vault before you die and then Once you're 20, you go find it.
Yeah, as you say that, he just looks kind of displeased that you even know that information. And then he
Everyone has
goes,
a big mouth. That's all I can say.
because I know of the cycle for which I go through, I have developed ways and systems to retrieve the items that I need to do my job most effectively. That is all you need to know.
So, we actually came here to talk to you about something specific. We have
His gaze turns to you.
we have the amulet of Talmec.
You see the very slightest twitch on his face.
We're busy. We keep very busy. And we're thinking about using it to cure the Black Summoner. And we don't want to blow everything up. And we learned that you know how to use it.
That amulet, he spends probably a minute just lost in thought. And then he turns to you and says, that amulet is possibly more dangerous than the Phoenix artifacts themselves. Because it can be used to cure and cause so much change that this world is not meant for. It could even... No. He stops himself from saying more. He says, I need to know if you're even trustworthy to use that amulet. Because from all the evidence I'm seeing, you are far too reckless to use it in a way that wouldn't involve creating a gigantic crater.
We came to you. That's something.
It is it is a show of wisdom that I find that has left me pleasantly surprised.
I mean, it wasn't our idea. That was actually wait, the Anvil's name.
Yeah, but we agreed to
That was
it.
the Anvil's idea.
We agreed to it.
We agreed to it.
The anvil, as you mentioned, the anvil said it. He seems to be mulling it over, and he says, "What exactly has the Black Summoner been afflicted with?"
Something that can't be cured.
I need more detail than that to know if the amulet could even cure it.
We don't know exactly.
Something
Well,
mind
you
affecting.
don't use the amulet on something you don't know. You don't know what would come out of it.
Someone
Maybe we
mentioned...
should ask the Dawn Caller what's causing.
I don't
Oh
think
yeah,
she
the Dawn
knows.
Caller
Does she?
said that this was the way to cure him.
But I don't-
You'd never asked what exactly was afflicting the Black Summoner.
Nope, no, we did not.
Can we?
You just asked how do we cure the Black Summoner?
hey, quick
Well, I
quick
assume
sending.
if it creates a
sending.
crater as well. Oh yeah.
Give us 10 minutes.
The surgeon, he just stands there and he says, "I have more patience than all of you." Go.
That's fair.
Okay, I will sending the Dawn Caller, who I hope can get
Ring, ring.
ring, ring.
So, what are the 25 words you're sending to the Dawn Caller?
Okay, so let me write these out. Calling in question.
Long time watcher,
What?
first time caller.
is what is affecting the Black Summoner? Is that all we need to know? Just what exactly it is?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, that has lots of words to spare then. So,
Ruha sucks.
hey, girl.
Oh yeah, we
Oh my god.
Calling in that question. What is affecting the Black Summoner? Sucks.
maybe we should
17 words, still perfect.
If there's anything else we should know about, like for the conditions of the amulet. I mean,
Okay. So you're asking what's affecting the black? What exactly is afflicting the Black Summoner?
Can we include the Emperor in that too?
That would be a separate question, I think.
No. What is
She's nice
afflicting
about
the
it.
Black Summoner and Emperor?
Black Summoner. M. Yeah. You're feeling generous?
Remember, 25 words, hard limit.
Hey, girl.
oh my god.
That's great.
I definitely can't see this going badly.
You get a reply. You flatterer. The Emperor's affliction is unknown due to mantle.
Okay.
She's trying to conserve the words.
Oh, wait. Will the mantle and the curse come out as two separate attacks that fight each other in like a giant mech battle?
God.
Now,
An angel and a demon both come.
Black Summoner's affliction is wound from being beyond the void. And then the next word, I need none to roll a will save.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Well, that sounds bad, so I'm going to use my 20.
Do you want to hold the pearl?
No.
No. I don't need to because I already have my own version
Okay.
of that effect. Plus 14 plus 8. Yeah.
Wow.
Get
that's
it.
funny.
Okay. You hear it's all one word, so it fits within the sending spell. It is a 17-syllable word that as it is spoken, your mind buckles under its name.
I don't know.
But you focus on it, you look at it, you detach yourself from the fuzziness that the word causes, and you are unaffected. So,
Okay.
incomprehensible 17-syllable word.
Okay. Right.
Inflicted wound slowly consuming.
Okay. So, Unknown regains her composure and says, something from beyond the void. And I think its name is something I shouldn't repeat. Because you might all die.
Match.
That's specific enough?
He goes, you'll have to... I will not die from a word. At least, not that one. Whatever it is. But you will have to find a way of giving me that. He seems to think about it. He says, what you need to understand about the amulet is that I found a way of, instead of it causing an explosion that will kill the person being cured and the person administering the cure. It's not even a cure. It's a reversion to nature. I found a way of making whatever it is cursing, whatever energy and curse and affliction is there, to make it manifest. And if the amulet is used on someone so heavily cursed by a being from the void beyond, a part of whatever that is might become manifest. We would have to kill it.
Could we kill something that has that name?
I have
Not like-
never fought a being from beyond the void. It is
I'll, like, give enough syllables that he can.
you start writing it down,
Okay. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
and you give it
I'm
to
gonna-
him, and he looks
I'm
at
gonna
it.
write down 16 of the syllables, okay?
Just in case.
Just so that the effect doesn't go off. But, like, if you know the whole thing, you'll know it.
He looks at it, and his expression does not change. And he goes, "I see why you would not want to say this out loud." He takes the piece of paper and just like flips it over so other people can't see the word. And he goes, because what we would be fighting would only be the energy that is powering the curse. What is unnatural about it. We are not likely fighting a god, but a fragment of one. Or whatever dread entity it is.
Okay, just a fragment of a god. Okay.
We did that
All right.
once.
It would be like if the amulet was used on you, O nun. Your connection to the divine energies you channel would become manifest into a creature that we would likely have to fight.
It's like a little tiny Torag and a bunch of little tiny spirits.
Possibly, but its power is entirely dependent on your connection with your god.
Interesting.
If the amulet was used on a neonate, someone who had only briefly just started using the connection to the gods, it might not even manifest as something at all. It would just be a burst of energy and just kind of rattle a few windows and tip over a table. With someone like you, or by the gods, mine and yours, were to use it on a pillar, that energy would manifest in something horrifically powerful.
And
Still
would it be
killable,
evil?
just very powerful.
The manifestation's always evil, though?
No,
It's a good
but they're
Shouldn't it be a good creature?
oaths. The magic does not care. It is energy released, and it tries to bond back with what it was separated from.
Yeah.
So to actually cure someone, we would have to defeat it.
Well, all right.
This amulet has been attempted to be used on various things, but luckily no one has known how to charge it, and I kept it that way. I even created a small tomb for Talmik to just put it in there so that I might only use it once a suitable target had been found. I have been curating this amulet for as long as I have been marching through the river of time. To see it just going to be used in some political machination. He
Hey,
paces.
we're saving the world here.
If If we do not cure the Black Summoner, or I guess return him to his natural state, the fate of the Empire could be at stake.
He takes a look at you and says, "This empire's nothing special. It is built on the bones of the Monska. And whatever, if this empire falls, a new one will arise on the bones of this one. The mantle and its power to control the wild magics are far more important than what exactly its shape is."
Okay.
That's a fair point.
And then chimes in. If we don't use this, we will give this back to you for safekeeping, or this is an option. We could give this back to you for safekeeping if you help us as much as it would help us. It should be no challenge for someone of your abilities.
He seems to think about it, and then he goes, "I have heard of the works of this Black Summoner. His fairness, his kindness. He is better for the people of this world to be whole than broken. You must make sure that whatever site you do this on, you don't mind it being cursed and never to be used for 100 generations."
Oh, that's a long time.
I mean, I can think of a place.
The ocean?
And she starts just looking a little bit to the west.
The Ruha.
Volcano.
She
Taruha.
Oh,
she
the
said,
desert.
he says, "Are you implying Ruha?"
It's already the most blasted, blighted wasteland of nothing can live there.
So you see Surgeon like closing his eyes and like tensing. Then he says, "The reason why it's so blasted was because the amulet was used there once."
Wait,
So
what?
you're saying it
Can it be
wouldn't
double
no
cursed?
extra damage? Land can only get so burnt.
You would also have to navigate it through the various defenses Ruha had. If he interrupted the ritual or even allowed the creature that you were fighting to either rebond with its host or rampage, if he tried to control it in all of his arrogance, things could be worse. Your Black Summoner would be dead and you'd be left with whatever syllabled fragment of whatever syllabled monster rampaging across your precious empire.
Well, the last time
can-
it was used, the
There's
amulet
already
messed up,
a
right?
rampaging monster in Ruha.
Like, the amulet was misused, and that's why Ruha exists, is what you're telling us. But if it's used properly, it should be a much smaller site.
And also, there's already a giant monster rampaging through Ruha. It's already worst case scenario there.
Well, it's not it's building a really nice garden.
Well then, oh hey, why don't we do our ritual in its garden? The monsters will fight.
Renevok versus whatever.
Profit.
We'll take over Runavog.
Oh, that'd be bad.
That
Yeah.
would be really.
Oh, we could turn Runavog back into a regular worm and unleash his godly powers everywhere.
That would be
Yeah,
bad.
that's the apocalypse scenario. This is a dangerous amulet. Why do we own this?
Because it's the thing to do at the time.
It was the fashion at the time.
It seemed like a great idea at the time.
Okay. So, anyways, do we tell this guy where it is so that they can overlook the process we're charging?
I mean, what if he decides to just take it from us?
He'd probably be right to do so.
Yeah,
But-
but that's not gonna fly.
Well, then we'll get to see what happens when the anvil and this bloke fight.
Yeah, you know, that's fair. I don't think the anvil would give it away on us.
Surgeon seems to be just saddened by, like, you see the weariness just come over his figure, his features. He just goes, I can see it in your eyes that you will use this amulet and that I cannot take it from the anvil. Do you actually tell him that the anvil has it?
I think we need to discuss that.
Okay.
I-
If you guys need
So-
like a huddle, you can go.
So the alternative, how bad? Just to backtrack a second, how long will it be until the amulet can be used against the Phoenix Queen? That's what you're using it for, right? That's what you're waiting on,
That
essentially?
there. He seems conflicted as to what to tell you.
Because if that's what you need, then we need to find another cure for the Black Summoner.
He says, my crusade against the Phoenix cult will likely extend beyond your lifetime. The charging time does... It's not the charging time that matters, it's where the crown is, where the egg is, where the where the brand
So
is.
wait, if we got you all of these things, could we do it?
Surgeon puts his hand on his face and sort of lets it go down until it's resting on his chin. And he goes, if we use that amulet on those items, we would likely be fighting the Phoenix Manifest, and I do not know if this place, this country, would survive the process.
Even
sounds
one at a
bad.
time?
Even if we got all the pillars? We're good at
Maybe with all of
networking.
the pillars, maybe if whatever terrifying creature of Runavog, maybe if all of them were put together, we might be able to take all of those artifacts being destroyed by the amulet combined.
My vision for the final end of this campaign has just changed quite a bit.
It's a little more grand scale.
Yeah.
Well, it just meta-wise, you can totally pursue this. This is just a radical. This is one of the radical ends of this campaign, and it's one that you guys are kind of have unwittingly gone towards.
Hey guys, you want to be fucking legends?
Yeah.
Let's kill a god!
And he says, "To the brand, if the brand was broken just by itself, it would limit the Phoenix cult's ability to do much, to grow at least. I've been able to cull many of their agents over my years. Even breaking the scepter itself would be a boon upon this world. But to use it against the egg itself would be... That's what the power is. That's what the most dangerous aspect of the Phoenix is. The egg. And the egg was so beyond my ability to safely dispose of, I gave it to the anvil. So that she might drain some of its power, so that in 2,000 years I might be able to use the amulet on the egg and not cause everything around it to explode. For there to be a rain of ash and death upon the world. But now the egg is not with the anvil. My very long-term plans have had to change.
I mean, it was still there for a while.
Yes, and it is better than it not having been there at all.
think it's in a box right now.
I mean, I think the Dawncaller's Island has some of the ley line for what Medusa's going on.
Yeah, we
I
could
assume they
actually
have
set up a new. We could try to set up something new in the midterm. In the near term.
Regardless, if you swear that you will help me destroy the scepter and or the crown, I will help you free the Black Summoner.
Sure. I mean,
Sounds good.
for me anyway, that sounds good.
It's going to be difficult to get at the crown, though.
The crown is the key piece to all this. If we destroy it, then the malevolent intelligence behind it would be dissipated. Now, you guys can roll sense motive checks if you want to see if this guy's on the level. He appears to be very genuine. He's telling you very important things.
Let's give it a go.
Okay. He is very stoic, but you can tell that he's hesitating and not giving you the full picture, probably because he doesn't trust you. That is your hunch.
For the
And
LFLs.
And you're thinking about it, he has good reason from his perspective to not fully trust you. But he's also, you get the hunch that he is trying to trust you.
Can I do a knowledge check on him and his history?
Sure. I guess it would be, knowledge history.
Nice.
Meta-wise, do we know which who his god was? Or is?
Actually, you guys can roll a knowledge religion check or a knowledge history check. Lalara, Chelsea, you get a +2 bonus on top of whatever you'd normally roll. There is a reason.
Are you muted again? Chelsea?
Chelsea
You're
is
super
muted.
God damn it!
You need to stop
Oh,
doing
no.
that. Don't mute in
Sorry.
Discord. Just don't.
Well, I have to. Knowledge. What was it again? Knowledge.
Religion or knowledge history.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Whatever you have higher, you get
I
an
get a
additional
+2?
+2.
Yay.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
Nice.
I can actually tell you this. So, everyone else not close enough. But
Good.
Laura, you've been staring at the holy symbols engraved on a small buckler and his armor and the scythe he's carrying for as long as people have been having this relatively earth-shattering conversation. And you notice it is actually of a Monska god. One that you've only encountered in your research about the Monska. It is a dragon god Aspu. A god of peace, law, and construction and toil. It is a god that has been forgotten for pretty much everyone. This god was only prominent in the Monska Empire, and what you think are brief, you actually saw some brief things to it in the Monska temples and in Ruha. It is from what you vaguely know, it is a lawful good god. That is what you know of Aspu. He's Aspu the Waybringer.
And can you repeat that first part? About the scythe.
Like that you see Aspu's symbol
Okay.
engraved on the scythe, engraved on his armor, engraved on a small buckler.
Okay.
All of these are exquisitely created, and as you look at it, you realize that the armor and scythe and all that itself are actually of Monska make.
Oh dang, that's pretty old.
This man is a living relic.
I'm guessing that armor has to be recovered every time he dies.
Well,
Actually, the more you look at the armor, roll spellcraft.
Okay.
Because now that you have this idea, now that you know this, please roll something vaguely impressive.
It's not gonna do it since you asked.
oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
though.
thank you. You suspect that either the armor, you think that maybe it's the weapon or maybe it's the armor, but you think it's an intelligent item.
Huh.
An item that has been granted with a a mind and a purpose. Kind of like a virtual intelligence. It doesn't have its own soul. But because you work with enough constructs, you realize that some of the ways the armor and scythe are kind of moving by themselves without muscle twitches from him, and for armor to always find him in every new reincarnation, for the equipment to find him in every new reincarnation, his equipment might actually have a purpose to find him.
So it's like a one true ring.
That's pretty cool.
Rule them all. Okay, cool. Good thing it's not evil though, like the ring.
If it's evil, he's fantastic at pretending he isn't. So, you guys accept his offer to, if you help him break the crown and the scepter, he will help you restore stability to the
Mozgus
Empire.
says.
So that's
Not stability to the Empire, but to help the Black Summoner.
Mozgus says
destroy both
before.
relics. That's 3 charging. 3 charges. That's gonna take a while.
Well, before we agree to anything, you have to be forthright with us first.
What do you... About which aspect?
There's something you're not letting us know about something. I know, it's vague, but I can tell you're hiding something.
He's holding his breath, like just contemplating what to say. He says, "What I don't tell you, I will tell you before the amulet is used. It is too painful, and I need to trust you far more before I say it. It is about my own personal history with that amulet."
How much time... So, if we brought you if we gave you the amulet and a piece of the regalia right now, what would happen?
Because if you put this in our oath, I would tell you what is wrong. But I would also require an oath from you to clarify why you are using the amulet on the Black Summoner and what your purpose for your empire is. What is your end game? People don't just do things out of the kindness of their hearts. They do it because of duty. They do it because of ideology. They do it for money or power. I need to know the measure of the people that I am helping.
That's fair.
If I'm going to help you radically alter this place and use the relics of that I have been searching and that I've been curating for thousands of years, I need to know who you are and why you do what you do. Is that so hard to believe?
I think that's fair.
Especially if you want to bring a being like that, he points towards the piece of paper, even a fragment of it into our reality. Everyone, all of you were in the court and you were watching on a remote viewing screen what happened to Nalhoon. You realized that Nalhoon, the ruins of it, the fire-stormed ruins of it, might actually have a clue as to what infected the Black Summoner. Because it was tentacles from there that hit the Black Summoner and cursed him.
Then we go there, and the tentacle's still there. It hits us, and we all lose.
Ah, shit. Bad end. You went too early.
Bad end. Didn't get the right protection. Next time.
You know, we
So to get
probably
you
should
to
have
help,
thought of that
to get this
earlier.
person to help us, we need to use the amulet twice more on both the pieces of. or on two
I will,
pieces.
when I get a measure of you and you get a measure of me, I understand that the most pertinent and the most timely use of this amulet is to help your Black Summoner. But I will require an oath that you would then help me use it on the other pieces of the Phoenix Regalia, not the egg. And only the egg if the other two have gone very successfully.
Okay.
We do need to actually obtain the mantle.
The crown,
The
yes.
crown. But that's difficult.
We need to look into some options to get in there. Sounds like a dragon could open the door to the vault, but it needs to be.
You know what?
Probably need to be there.
We could probably get Catalatrix to join us for that.
Probably.
Of all people, he would be interested. He's also not guarding anything too important currently.
Just, Jabadak.
He lost again though. Isn't he weak again?
Yeah.
So it's whatever.
I suppose. There might be some more obstacles in the way. We'll have to actually look into it.
Well, the guards and,
So, because it is getting late, I've loved this little interaction we've had. Lots of fucking revelations being spat out. But what are you guys going to do next session so I can plan for it? It will likely be combat involved some way, shape, and form. Not necessarily if you guys just want to have tea with various people.
let's just have tea with all the gods in the area.
I guess we can grab the armor of the Dragon Emperor, because that's kind of what we're doing. Or that's because that's just what we want to do,
Where's Nalhoon?
even though that might not be.
Nalhoon is west between. It is this little part between. I'll put it on the map.
Yeah, I can't see your marker anywhere.
Yeah, I'll put it in like lime. No, actually, no. I'll put it in like.
Is it west, north, south?
It's west,
West.
and the ruins of the city-state of Nalhoon.
Okay.
Oh, is this it over here?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Huh.
Oh, I just
Oh,
assumed
that's
that
how you
that. Oh, never mind.
That it was more in Xantar?
Well, I didn't realize that there was land beyond.
Yeah,
Ruha.
There's
no,
more
it's
world than just this.
There's more world. I've just done what's
Oh, okay, got
like
it.
the whole
as you
thing-
see. Like I've put the wavy lines where there's water, but there's land beyond.
Gotcha.
I just didn't define it because it wasn't important for the campaign.
Yeah,
Like Ruha's whole thing is trading from here to there to here to there to here to there. That's why they're so freaking fabulously rich.
gotcha.
Because they're controlling a lot of the west-east trade.
It's also why they keep fucking with Yangtapur, because they keep trading with boats, and that's kind of faster and better in every
It's
way.
way better. Have you played EU4? Come on.
Until they all fall to the bottom of the sea because of some sort of magical sand kraken. Or what have you.
Okay, so Armor of the Dragon Emperor, are you going to go after the ones in the Forest of Rochelle or the ones in the Wild Magic Wastes?
Forests are closer, but I assume better protected because they've been there for a while, and people have probably. If it's a more popular.
Well,
area.
if people don't know where it exists, it's probably guarded, but so is the other one.
Like the one that no one knows where it exists, it could be less ridiculously guarded. Maybe.
Assume bad things around it. But did we discuss how we're going to have him trust us and then help us?
No idea.
Because that's important. And I'd like to work on that on the side at least.
Yeah.
Well,
Come
you
along
guys
for the
doing
adventure.
stuff to help the contain the volcano.
Oh yeah, that would
likely
do it.
help.
Yeah, we can do a side, not actual combat mission to do some legwork, I guess.
Like if we say we're gonna stay here for 2 days, do the clean up
And
the
start
volcano.
casting wall, like remove earth and have Akane move stuff. And I do believe Tiamos has something that could help.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if we have actual combat
Yes,
to do here, but
I do.
you know, just hand wave it as
I would hand
we
wave
do
the
some team
combat.
bonding.
I don't actually.
I'm
wanna-
gonna hand wave that. Yeah.
Yeah. I also
then-
bought a drum of building.
It's like a
Trauma
lyre
building.
building instead of a.
Oh,
well, this
shit.
one is a drum.
It uses perform percussion, but in
Yeah.
all other ways is the same.
Oh shit.
Hmm.
Lyres of building are great.
They
They
are
are.
okay. So I thought I had this like 6th level spell, summon laborers, and I was like, this is like the lyre building, right? But then I went through the numbers, and it is nothing compared
No,
to
lyre
the
building. Lyre building is fucking broken to be
The lyre
honest.
building is so stupidly overpowered. It's like a 9th level spell every half an hour. It's dumb.
If you can keep it going, the moment you fail the check, you're out.
Yeah.
Unless your check is high enough, in which case even a 1 won't fail. And
Don't
then
worry
Does not
about it.
consecutively go up.
does it? I don't think it does.
It should.
But it doesn't. I think there might be
Well, that-
exhaustion penalties at a certain point.
Yeah, you
But
can only go so
after
long before
that's
you
such a
can.
long amount of time that you
Hey,
built what?
I've got a ring of sustenance.
Yeah,
I'm good.
22 hours of little drummer boy.
Yep.
200 workers.
The only thing that we need to take into account is the auction.
Right.
So we can stay here, pop into the capital again for the auction.
And then
Yeah,
pop
and then-
north.
Yep.
I think that's a good plan.
Okay,
Yeah,
that'll be next session.
Okay, so you're going to go after the mana waste one or the forest of
I vote forest because it's closer, but that's
Yeah,
like,
forest because it's more likely to get nabbed.
Okay. That and I'll finally get to introduce Shakti's family in that
Hey.
angle.
Yay!
Yay.
all right.
Okay, so thank you very much for playing with me and just listening to me talk at you for like 3 hours.
It was good. Bye, stream.
Bye, stream.
Bye.